incapacitated. So I've been working with my knowledge and my tenacity to keep out of obesity. Yes. So today I'm working at home here, and I'm just messing around. I wanted to share with you my rebounder. Right. Do you know what a rebounder is? Well, a rebounder is something that you can use for non-weight bearing cardiovascular fitness or lymphatic movement. Right. So it moves the lymphatic fluid, lymph fluid, and interstitial fluid, and blood, and water. They're all different fluids in the human body, right? Your lymph system is connected to your brain. Actually, they didn't know the brain had a lymphatic system until maybe 5 years ago. But you have a lymphatic system that is incorporated with your immune system. And most people that have obesity issues, if you look on my 600-pound life, they have lymphedema, right? And I was looking at this story of Janine, I think her name was, a middle-aged woman. And I felt really sorry for her because Dr. Now, unfortunately, he's not too versed with lymphedema. And I felt like calling him up on the phone because I have lymphedema. And I know all there is to know about lymphedema. Yes, I am a guru on lymphedema, A+. So, yeah, and that's a whole nother video. So I've been battling with that since I got hurt in a triathlon. Actually, I have what you call like a ballet bar, but I don't have it connected. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1. So it makes you not hurt your legs. It takes your bounce. There's videos on YouTube, right, about rebounders, right? So out in the garden, you can take it down your backyard, your patio, any place you want to, because it's light, right? Take it all apart. I have a little thing that I could take it with. I don't know if you could see it. It's right there. It's like a dolly. 2012, I can open my own gym. But yeah, so yeah, are you a truth seeker? Are you a hiding from the truth? Do you not look at yourself? Well, I didn't look at myself for 7 years, and that which put me in the predicament of obesity. Had I looked at myself really good when I got married in 2005, when I gained 10 pounds, I probably never needed bariatric surgery 70 pounds lighter, or later, I should say, later, not lighter. But we tend to do that. Yeah, it's typical. And I did it, I did it. And that's why I had to have bariatric surgery to get me out of the metabolic conundrum that I was in, right? Well, the thing about it is that metabolic disease, what is it? Well, it's fatty liver disease. It can be any autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease comes under an umbrella, right? An umbrella of systemic disease, right? And it can go over and over and under all different kinds of diseases, right? And then you have diabetes, and you have high blood pressure. You have hyperlipidemia, which is high cholesterol, but that's not really a big issue. If you look up Ansel Keys, he was a hustler and a huckster, right? His research is flawed, which President Nixon in the 1970s changed the diet. And what they did was with the those what do you call those families, the first families, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, and the big pharma. They decided, well, we're gonna really benefit from this because, well, way back in the 1950s, before the 1950s or 30s, or actually the 1800s, herbalism was the great medicine. And then they found out that, the medical professionals, they wanted mainstream media to take it over, prescription drugs and stuff. So they developed a big pharma. And so then President Nixon, and you know who he is, Tricky Dick, right? He decided to come up with this scheme to change the ingredients in some of the American foods. Now, if you look around, well, everybody that comes to the United States and adopts our diet from the old countries, right, from other countries, they become sick with metabolic disease. I wonder why that is. So anyway, so if you look at this video over here, this is called Sugar, the Bitter Truth, and I will put a card. Ooh, look at that. That's not very pretty, is it? Gotta get that off. That's loose skin. Loose skin, loose skin. Woo. Loose skin, loose skin. Yeah, can't do nothing about that because I'm an old lady, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're young and tight, yay for you. So the Bitter Truth, it's from University of California. This is 9 years ago, okay? And this is that Robert Lustig. He is a truth seeker, right? You can have all the bariatric surgeries you want, baby. Sugar goes right through it. Now, if you had that R&Y and you had that little, what do they call that? Dumping syndrome, for a while, you won't be able to eat that. Right. But then the body becomes adjusted, and pretty soon you don't dump anymore. And then that's why people, they just get brain deterioration or clog up their arteries. But on the outside, they don't get fat. So sugar causes metabolic disease. It causes brain atrophy. It causes all kinds of stuff. Diabetes, we know that. High blood pressure, we know that. Heart disease, we know that, right? And what is sugar? There's about 500 different names of sugar, right? Sucralose, fructose, sugar, honey. What do they call it? Sweeteners, cokes, pies, cookies. Carbohydrates turn into sugar, right? What do we call that? Carbohydrates, right. We call that processed foods, right. We call that fruit juices, right. All these things, we have bariatric surgery. Don't matter what kind you got. After 5 years, usually, the body adapts. And if you don't pay attention, you'll wind up regaining all the weight back again. Yes. Now, I battle about a 10-pound weight gain. Now, I got a lot of skin and I'm old, right? But the sugar, the bitter truth.
The difference between glucose and fructose in a way that will be glaringly apparent. So let's consume 120 calories in glucose. 2 slices of white bread. Okay? What happens to that 120 calories? Now, you eat the 120 calories, 96 or 80% of the total will be used by all the organs in the body. Okay? 80% off the table. Why? Because every cell in the body can use glucose. Every bacteria can use glucose. Every living thing on the face of the earth can use glucose because glucose is the energy of life. Okay? That's what we were supposed to eat. Okay? 24 of those calories, or 20%, will hit the liver. Okay? So let's watch what happens to those 24 calories. Here they go. So
So we wonder why we have to shrink the liver when we go on a bariatric pre-op diet, right? Because probably 90% of us have a fatty liver, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
The glucose comes in through this transporter called GLUT2. Out here, the glucose is going to stimulate the pancreas to make insulin. The insulin is going to bind to its receptor, and it's going to take this substrate over here called IRS1, insulin receptor substrate 1. That's not important right now, don't worry.
So this podcast is 9 years ago, and it is about 1 hour and 30 minutes. You will learn a lot. Probably a lot of it you did know, and if you didn't know, you're going to learn, right? You're going to learn, and if you're pre-op, man, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. You got to watch it, because the reason is that our bariatric surgeries, especially if you've had the gastric sleeve, and if you've had other bariatric surgeries, they take a portion of your and they reroute your intestines, they might, and they give you a hormonal reprieve. Now, some of us have hormonal disorders, like me, but eventually the body is designed not to starve or to stay alive. And the bariatric surgeries fool the body for a while, but eventually the body will figure it out, and that's why we plateau, or we come to a set point, or we stall because we're eating the foods that of why we had the bariatric surgery in the first place, because they were unhealthy, right? Or you're eating too much sugar, you're eating too much carbs, and you're not following your bariatric surgeon's rules or your nutritionist rules. Or you're trying to cheat and think that your body is stupid. Your body is not stupid. It's designed to stay alive. So don't think you can out-exercise a improper diet, because you'll never do it. Our joints are not in the best shape. Maybe you have arthritis, or maybe you have other medical conditions. So try to find a exercise program that is easy on the joints, preferably set up by a physical therapist who understands bariatric surgery. The physical therapists are more educated than a personal trainer. I repeat, a physical therapist is more educated than a personal trainer. A physical therapist usually has a master's degree or a PhD. A personal trainer only usually has a couple hundred hours of book work, and they take a test. Usually. Some combine it with a kinesiology degree, but usually it's just a couple-hour book test that you study for a couple months. So yeah, and anyway, so that's just my 2 cents. I'll hook up a couple videos that might be interest to you, that will definitely help you and make you more educated and more successful on your health and weight loss path. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.